Tom, give us an indication of the mood there behind you with the independent investigation now underway. Is it the time-honoured defence, nothing to see now, move on?
Yes, we've heard this sort of defence time and time again, haven't we? It's been several weeks, if not months now, that there's been an independent investigation into the Deputy Prime Minister, Dominic Raab. Of course, for a long time, there was an independent investigation into the former Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. And for months and months and months, I stood on this street saying that the government is saying one thing, and that's that they can't say anything until Sue Gray has reported. Well, now I'm afraid we can't really get much out of the government until Sir Laurie Magnus has completed his report into the goings-on of Nadhim Zahawi, the chairman of the Conservative Party, of course, who was Chancellor for that 3-month period between July and September of last year. And that's where the crucial question lies, of course. What happened while Nadhim Zahawi was Chancellor, and was anything improper done in terms of settling that dispute with HMRC whilst he was in charge of the Treasury? Many, many questions to be asked there, of course, which the government has now delegated to the ethics czar, if you will, Sir Laurie Magnus, who is conducting a report. And I'm afraid to say we don't have any timescale for this report in terms of when it will be concluded. It's operationally independent from the government. The government is not setting its terms. They're leaving that to the ethics advisor himself. The ethics advisor can decide really the scope of the investigation and indeed the timescale of this investigation. So it may well be some weeks, perhaps even some months, where the simple answer will be we have to wait for this independent report.
But of course, the problem being that during that time he is still party chairman. In that sense, the story will not go away. And we've seen previously with all these issues, when the individual becomes the story, it's very difficult for them to continue politically then.
Yes, it is a difficult position, but of course what the government would say to that is that people are innocent until they're proven guilty. Rishi Sunak was very clear earlier this morning in terms of wanting to say that he does things by the book. His government, as he said on the steps of Downing Street when he became Prime Minister, will be governed by principles like integrity, like professionalism, and to that extent, they are following this process by the book. There is this independent investigation that will take place, after which a judgment may be made. And it's important to note at this stage that under the terms of the ministerial code, of course, this investigation can be carried out entirely independently by the ethics advisor. However, at the end of that period, it's the Prime Minister's decision in terms of whether or not he accepts the recommendations of that report. That remains a political question.